Hey guys, so this is a long-awaited video. I've been really busy too, like Beck, because school started. This semester is crazy. I have 3 education classes, a public speaking class, and my English senior seminar, which requires a 20-page paper. Luckily, my professor is freaking awesome. First of all, she is a Whovian. So me and her, like, we discuss Doctor Who, like, constantly. Like, my professor and I are, like, constantly going on. She's like, what did you think of the episode? So I can't wait to see her Monday to discuss this week's episode. But I'm not going to say anything in case Beck didn't see it. I know Ryan did because we were just discussing it before I started this video. And I cried. I cried my eyes out. That's all I'm going to say about it. If you haven't seen it yet, Beck or Carly, just be prepared when you see the mid-series finale for series 7. Just be prepared to cry. Oh my god, I just can't even. So, a few things. Like I said, I've been really busy, and I didn't get to show you. Okay, so you obviously heard about my Camp Sunshine, but this is the volunteer shirt. I'm all messed up figuring out which shoulder is which. Um, that I got everybody to sign. This is Chris, who is one of my other counselors, and then if you go here, one of my little girls, Melanie, signed across, and on this side you can't really see it, Elizabeth and Aiden signed, and then the entire back of my shirt is signed. So let's see if I can get you to see some of that. So I don't know how much of it you can see, but like the entire back of my shirt got signed. All the kids like to do it, and we got a bunch of the counselors, like all my counselor friends signed it. Like Laura signed I love you, and Lexi said yay for camp friends, and then put a heart, and Jessie, of course, being my best friend, signed with like an I love you and everything. And then one of our girls, Cassie, put an honorary 6 to 8 because the first day of camp, the 6 to 8-year-old group, which is what I was a lead counselor for, has to get in the bear and chipmunk suits and greet the families as they come. And a lot of our group didn't want to do it, and Cassie was with the tot lot, and she was like, I'll do it. So we called her our honorary 6 to 8 because she took one for the team and actually got in one of the suits when nobody else wanted to. So she signed her shirt that way, and it's something I won't forget. And like my other roommates, because you get put into rooms with 4 people usually, and Jesse and I were 2, and we took like the bedroom in the room, but then it's like a dorm, and there's bunk beds and a futon in the main room, and there are 2 other girls in there that we didn't know before the camp, and it was awesome. They were really nice, and they were Harry Potter fans, so we kind of bonded over a mutual love for Harry Potter. But I want to be back at camp. I don't want to be in classes. It's so chaotic. I have so much to do all the time. Between reading and my one class is English K through 12, and it's literally 6 people. It's a 6-person class because it's technically for the people that are not special ed dual certification majors. Like my degree is a BA in English with dual certification, teaching and special ed cert. So we do our junior field, which is the 1 day a week student teaching, and then senior field is every day of the week student teaching. We do a junior field with a different teacher, but this teacher, the class that I'm in now, English K through 12, is technically the seminar class for the people that are not special ed majors. So it's a lot of work. Like they're doing their mini teacher work sample, which is like a big thing. I can't even explain it. But we're doing a 3-unit lesson plan that we have to hand her at the end. I'm doing mine on Shakespeare because it's just awesome, and I have like a web quest I can do, and I have all these plans for it, so that's good. But we have to also do like mini lesson plans almost every week. But I'm actually going to tell you about the cool one that I get to do this week, because we had to get like a folk tale or a children's story and make a lesson plan aimed at the primary grades. So I found this really awesome Peter Pan pop-up book, and I'm doing my lesson plan using that, and I just got it in the mail today. It's really cool. As you can see, it's actually really thick because it's a pop-up book. So like you open it, and this is the first page. It's all London. And then like when you open these side things, other things pop out. Like it's really hard to explain, but it's really cool. Like this is Neverland. And then like, where's the, I want to show you. That's the, it's popping out at me, everything. I believe those are the Lost Boys. It's so cool. I think it's like the coolest thing, and I like bought it because like she said, you know, you can get a book out of the library. But as soon as I saw this, I was like, I want the pop-up book because since I'm such a big, ooh, my phone is going off. It sounds like the TARDIS if you heard that, but that's okay. I am such a big Peter Pan fan, so I was like, this is something that I can keep and I can just have as a collectible. But then if I do end up teaching Peter Pan in some way, even if it's to older kids, I still think it would be something that's more interactive and fun for them than just sitting there and reading like Peter Pan. And I just think it's so cool to have. So I was like, I need that pop-up book. So I was like, such a spaz, such a freaking spaz. But I really have an obsession with Peter Pan. Like I have a Tinkerbell cup. I think I showed it in my first episode. I have a little Tinkerbell figurine that my best friend Alex got me. Um, I have a collectible. I have two different copies of the actual Peter Pan. One of them is actually in easy access, I think. I think. Except maybe it's not. I thought it was, but now I don't see it. So I'll have to show it to you in another video because it isn't in as clear view as I thought it was. So I can't really grab it and show you. But I have a collectible edition of Peter Pan. I have, I think, multiple DVD versions of Peter Pan, like the 2003 version, the Disney version, the musical. Like I have multiple versions. Like I just really love Peter Pan. I don't know what it is about it, but the story, I just adore it. And Ryan knows we have the joke that we have a joke about it. So, but it's just I love it, and so I had to have this, and I'm so happy that I got it. It's like my collectible thing after I use it for the lesson plan, and like I'm using the lesson plan is actually kind of fun because I'm not sure you guys know anything about lesson plans, but they teach you how to set them up, and they have to have what's called an anticipatory set, which is basically you testing the kids' prior knowledge or introducing the lesson in some way. And I found this awesome video that's this song by Stephanie J. Block, who is in Wicked, and it's all about a girl looking back on learning the story of Peter Pan and Neverland and how through adulthood she doesn't really remember, like it's all fuzzy and you can't really go back to your childhood. And it's like this awesome song, and somebody put it to a video of the Disney version of Peter Pan. So my anticipatory set, I can't even talk because I'm so tired after everything. My anticipatory set for this lesson is actually going to be showing them that video and then having students write like one brief paragraph on if they know what the video is from, if they know anything about Neverland, anything they know from that video, which I think is pretty cool and would be a little fun thing if I was actually going to teach it to kids and not just go through it with my class and show them like how I would teach it. But that's why the lesson planning is such a tedious thing, and having to write one each week for different things, while fun to think about like what you would do to teach this stuff, it's really tedious. Like there's the anticipatory set, then you have to figure out what the materials are, you have to figure out the standards, which there's actually like lists of standards. Like I use there's New Jersey standards, there's national standards, and then there's the language arts standards, which is what we're basically using because they're English lessons. And the language arts standards, I believe, are national and they're new. And you have to basically find like 3 standards to fit your lesson in the grade that you're planning to teach. Like they're different depending on the grade, and they just build upon each previous year. So by the time you get to 11th or 12th grade, which is what I'm making my 3-unit lesson plan on Shakespeare for, it builds upon everything from kindergarten up. Like if you read each grade, it's the same standard, and then it keeps building and building and building. And you have to find standards to fit your lesson, and then you have to place those standards and like what your lesson is going to do into a statement that's like an SWABT statement, which is students will be able to, and say like what they'll be able to do by the end of the lesson. And then you have to give the materials, and you have to give a layout of like how you're going to teach the lesson, whether you're going to use like modeling, which is basically showing the students like what input you're going to give, directions, like all of that. And then you have to actually write out like how you're going to assess them. Like there's different types of assessments. There's formative and summative. It's like a lot of work, but you can get some pretty good lessons. And it's, I guess when you teach, it's really nice because you have a plan, even if you don't end up following the plan. Like you can go off of it, but at least you have somewhere to end, and you have like your assessment, how you're going to assess that they learn this. Which I'm not getting into politics and why I disagree with what Romney wants to do, in education, because that's another story, and you really don't talk politics because we might all disagree. But yeah, and it's 10 minutes and I'm rambling, but I wanted to give you guys a video because it took a while and I saw your videos, but I really haven't had time to make one until now. But I'm going to cut this off now. I love you guys. Bye.